Eileen Gu switches focus to her other job after Winter Olympics success. Eileen Gu is off to the next thing on her list, Milan's Fashion Week for the next week. Gu, the most decorated female Olympic freestyle skier of all time, won 2 silver and 1 gold medal in the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. Although the Games have concluded, the 22-year-old Chinese star will now focus on her other profession, being an international star. Having walked in the city's Fashion Week in 2023, she also has made appearances at the Met Gala and Paris Fashion Week in the past. Her attending Milan's Fashion Week comes after a former NFL MVP claimed she was attractive, while also stating she was insufferable. "It's Fashion Week in Milan," the Chinese Olympic star said, hat-tip the Daily Mail. "I have the other job, the other fashion thing. I'm really excited to just explore some other avenues, be creative, and explore my femininity through fashion, which is something I've always loved, and to kind of put that in juxtaposition with skiing and with sports. And I think they coexist so beautifully, and so I hope to represent that next week in Milan." Gu is one of the more recognizable athletes, having been featured in Fendi, Gucci, Tiffany & Company, and Louis Vuitton campaigns in recent years, further raising her profile. As an athlete representing China and an IMG model, the 22-year-old has also expanded her reach in the country, having been featured on the covers of the Chinese editions of Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Cosmopolitan, GQ, and Vogue. She also has partnerships with Chinese brands such as Luckin Coffee, Enter Sports, and the Bank of China, among others. That said, the way Gu has conducted herself at the Olympics has not gone over well with some in the media. Former NFL MVP Boomer Esiason made it clear that, while he finds the 22-year-old alluring, he also could not stand how she presented herself. "If you listen to her, you're like, what?" the former MVP said to Greg Giannotti, his one co-host. "She's a very, very attractive woman, and she's extremely bright. She went to Stanford. But if you listen to her post-participation interviews, she's insufferable. She is. It's hard to listen to. But then again, it's an individual sport and an individual person talking about herself as opposed to talking about her teammates or the support she receives." Despite what Esiason claims, Gu has maintained that her focus is on remaining an elite athlete. As she did so, the star admitted that her greatest strength was her confidence, which, in a way, has helped her reach a new level in aspects of life outside sports. "The power of sport is unparalleled because it is evidence over affirmation. Because you don't tell yourself, 'Oh, I can handle the pressure. I'm so great,'" Gu told reporters at her closing press conference. "You do it time and again. Sports are really honest because you can't lie to yourself. You know when you stayed late and other people weren't there. I tell myself a chip a little line and call it a day. It's the fact that I look back on quite literally years, like decades of hard work, of pouring my heart and soul into this sport. And so yeah, it's trusting myself and it's building that trust every day." From slopes to style, Eileen Gu's creative pivot after Winter Olympic glory. In the snowblown valleys of the Italian Alps, Eileen Gu once again stood atop the Winter Olympic stage, breath caught, heart pounding, and medals glinting in the February light. With 3 medals at the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Games, a gold in halfpipe and 2 silvers in big air and slopestyle, she had etched her name into the history books as the most decorated Olympic freestyle skier ever, with 6 medals across 2 editions of the Games. But in the days following her athletic triumph, Gu didn't retreat into traditional celebrations. Instead, she pivoted, not to rest, not to recovery training, not even back to her academic life at Stanford University, but to an arena equally vibrant and demanding, the world of fashion and creativity. To many, it may seem like an unexpected detour for one of the most accomplished athletes on the planet. But for Gu, this shift reflects a deeper story, one about embracing identity in all its forms, redefining what it means to be a modern Renaissance woman, and channeling creativity beyond the confines of a snow ramp. Blending two worlds, the athlete and the icon. Most athletes, after the crescendo of an Olympic cycle, sees a break, time to rest, heal, and reflect. But Eileen Gu is no ordinary athlete. At 22, she is already a global symbol of possibility, a freestyle skiing prodigy who chose to represent China on the world stage, a decision that ignited both admiration and controversy. She is simultaneously a student at Stanford University, an aspiring physicist and international relations enthusiast, and a top-tier fashion model represented by one of the world's leading agencies. To some, these multiple pursuits might seem at odds. To Gu, however, they are compellingly complementary. She once said, "It's Fashion Week in Milan. I have the other job, the other fashion thing," a statement as casual as it is extraordinary. This other job is not a mere afterthought. It is a fully realized identity, one she has cultivated through years of image campaigns, magazine covers, and runway moments. Through modeling, she explores self-expression, identity, and aesthetic storytelling in ways that echo the precision and artistry she brings to the halfpipe. Why fashion? Why now? In fashion capitals like Milan, models do not simply wear clothes, they embody ideas. The runway is a narrative, a statement about culture, identity, and what it means to be alive in a particular moment. For Gu, stepping into this space isn't a hobby. It is another form of performance, one where power, presence, and vulnerability coalesce. Her presence at Milan Fashion Week, mere days after skiing her last Olympic run, illustrated a compelling truth. An elite athlete's creative spark doesn't dim at the end of competition, it shifts gears. Gu explained her excitement in interviews. Fashion and sport are not